If you are over 70, here's who you shouldn't live with. Life after 70 can be one of the most fulfilling stages of your journey. It's a time for reflection, relaxation, and enjoying the freedom you've earned. But who you choose to share your living space with can significantly impact your peace, happiness, and overall well being. Some relationships, while important, might not be suitable for close proximity. In this article, we'll explore the types of people you should avoid living with after 70 to protect your energy, peace of mind, and quality of life. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. 1. The constant complainer. As you step into your 70s, every moment becomes more precious. It's a time to savor life's beauty, to enjoy the simple joys that come with wisdom and experience. Yet, one of the greatest threats to this peace is sharing your space with a constant complainer. These individuals have a unique way of turning even the brightest days into a storm cloud, and their negativity seeps into every corner of your life. Living with someone who complains incessantly is like carrying an emotional weight you never asked for. They complain about the weather, the economy, their health, or even the choices you make. Their grievances often have no solution, just an endless loop of dissatisfaction. The worst part? Over time, their negativity can begin to shape your own thoughts, making you see problems where none exist and diminishing your ability to enjoy the good around you. Imagine waking up each day, excited for a walk in the crisp morning air, or looking forward to a cup of coffee in the quiet comfort of your home. Now imagine starting that same day with someone who greets you not with warmth but with complaints. The coffee isn't strong enough. This house is too cold. Or, what's the point of even going for a walk at our age? Their words linger, dampening your mood before the day even begins. You deserve better than this. At 70, your home should be your sanctuary, a place where peace reigns and laughter echoes. Constant complainers rob you of this sanctuary, replacing it with a backdrop of unease and frustration. They might not mean to harm you, but their persistent negativity becomes a subtle thief of joy. Over time, you may notice that their perspective starts to cloud your own, making it harder to find gratitude or optimism. Choosing to distance yourself from such people isn't an act of selfishness, it's an act of self-preservation. You've spent decades navigating the challenges of life, raising families, working hard, and sacrificing. Now is your time to prioritize what truly matters: peace, happiness, and a life filled with positive energy. If someone in your life cannot rise to meet you in that space, it may be time to create some distance. Living with a constant complainer isn't just a choice about companionship. It's a decision about the kind of life you want to live. You owe it to yourself to create an environment that uplifts and nourishes you. You've earned that right. 2. The energy vampire. At 70, your energy is one of your most valuable assets. It's the fuel that allows you to embrace life's joys, spending time with loved ones, tending to hobbies, traveling, or simply soaking in a quiet morning with a book. But energy isn't infinite, and living with an energy vampire can quietly siphon away the vitality you've worked so hard to preserve. Energy vampires are often charming on the surface. They may enter your life under the guise of needing help, companionship, or a listening ear. At first, you might feel a sense of purpose in being there for them. You might even enjoy their company. But slowly, almost imperceptibly, their presence begins to take a toll. They thrive on constant attention, subtly demanding more of your time, emotions, and patience than they ever return. Before you know it, your days feel heavier, as if their needs overshadow your own. Picture this. A neighbor drops by unannounced, bringing a smile and a plate of cookies. The visit begins pleasantly enough, but soon the conversation shifts. They unload their grievances about their health, their family, their troubles. They leave hours later, but the emotional weight they've left behind lingers long after the cookies are gone. Or perhaps it's a family member who constantly calls on you for advice, reassurance, or help with their problems. Their needs seem endless, and no matter how much you give, it never feels like enough. What makes energy vampires so insidious is how easy it is to overlook their impact. They don't intend to harm you, and you might even care deeply about them, but the cumulative effect of their constant demands can leave you feeling depleted emotionally, mentally, and even physically. Worse, their presence often overshadows your ability to focus on your own well being. Over time, you might find yourself drained of the very energy you need to thrive. After 70, every ounce of energy you have is a gift. It's meant to be spent on things that bring you joy, peace, and fulfillment, not on propping up someone else's endless need for attention or reassurance. Saying no to an energy vampire can feel uncomfortable, especially if they are a friend or loved one. But remember, prioritizing your well being is not an act of cruelty, it's an act of love for yourself and for the life you've worked so hard to create. You deserve relationships that enrich your life, not ones that drain it. At this stage, it's time to protect your energy fiercely. Surround yourself with people who uplift you, who bring laughter and lightness into your days. You've earned the right to choose who shares your space and your time. Don't let anyone dim your light. This is your time to shine. 3. Overly dependent adult children. At 70, you've likely spent decades pouring your love, time, and energy into raising your children, guiding them through life, and watching them grow. It's a source of pride and joy to see the people they've become. Yet, sometimes the lines blur, and adult children fail to fully step into their independence. When this happens, the relationship can shift from being a source of connection and fulfillment to one of burden and strain, especially if they rely on you far more than they should. Living with an overly dependent adult child can feel like carrying a weight that grows heavier with time. They might move back into your home for financial reasons, out of convenience, or because they feel stuck in life. At first, it may seem natural to support them. It's what parents do, after all. But over time, their presence may begin to infringe on your own space, your plans, and even your peace of mind. Instead of sharing the responsibilities of the household, they might expect you to resume the same parental role you had when they were younger, cooking meals, cleaning up, or providing financial support without question. This dynamic can leave you feeling trapped, unable to fully enjoy the freedom you've earned after years of hard work and sacrifice. You might hesitate to set boundaries, fearing it will hurt their feelings or strain your relationship. After all, love for your children runs deep, and the thought of turning them away can feel unthinkable. But at the same time, you may notice your energy waning, your dreams of this stage of life slipping further away as you devote yourself to solving problems that aren't yours to fix. The hard truth is this: enabling a dependent adult child does not help them grow. By constantly stepping in to rescue them, whether financially, emotionally, or physically, you deny them the opportunity to face life's challenges and find their strength. Independence is a gift, and sometimes the most loving thing you can do is to encourage your children to embrace it. This doesn't mean severing ties or withdrawing your love. It means setting clear and healthy boundaries that protect your well-being while allowing them to stand on their own. Boundaries like expecting them to contribute financially if they live with you, or encouraging them to seek their own housing and solve their own problems, can foster a healthier relationship in the long run. Living with an overly dependent adult child can blur the lines between love and obligation. But at 70, your primary obligation is to yourself. This is your time to explore, to rest, to pursue the dreams and joys that may have taken a backseat to family responsibilities in earlier years. It's not selfish to prioritize your own happiness. It's essential. Your children's challenges are their lessons to learn, not your burdens to carry. By stepping back, you give them the space to grow and give yourself the freedom to truly live. 4. The controller. At 70, life should feel like your own masterpiece, a culmination of experiences, wisdom, and freedom. Yet, living with someone who tries to control your decisions can strip away the autonomy you've earned over a lifetime. Controllers come in many forms: a well meaning relative, an old friend, or even a loved one who, out of their own fear or insecurities, believes they know what's best for you. While their intentions may not always be malicious, the impact of their influence can be deeply stifling. A controller doesn't always announce themselves with harsh words or overt demands. Instead, their influence often seeps in quietly through subtle suggestions or persistent questioning. Should you really be doing that at your age? Do you think it's wise to spend your money on that? Why would you want to take up something new now? These seemingly innocent remarks can chip away at your confidence, sowing seeds of doubt about your ability to make decisions for yourself. Living with someone like this can feel like an ongoing negotiation over your own life. Over time, you may find yourself shrinking, hesitating to pursue what excites you, or second guessing choices you once made with certainty. Their voice starts to echo in your mind, replacing your own desires with their fears. Instead of feeling free to explore, you might feel tethered to someone else's version of what your life should look like. This is particularly painful because by 70, you've earned the right to live unapologetically. You've navigated decades of responsibilities, raising children, building a career, facing challenges, and now is the time to embrace your independence, not relinquish it. No one, no matter how much they claim to care, has the right to impose their limits or fears on your freedom. The truth is, controllers often act out of their own insecurities. Perhaps they fear losing you or worry about facing their own vulnerabilities. But their fears are not yours to carry. Allowing someone to dictate your life only diminishes your potential to enjoy this extraordinary chapter. You deserve to explore, to dream, to take risks if you choose, not because it's reckless, but because it's your life. Choosing to distance yourself from a controller doesn't mean rejecting their love or care. It means reclaiming your own agency. Setting boundaries can be challenging, especially if this person is close to you. But boundaries aren't about creating distance, they're about protecting your peace and preserving the joy you deserve. Remind yourself that you are capable of making your own decisions and you owe no one an explanation for pursuing what brings you happiness. Life after 70 is an invitation to live fully on your terms. Don't let anyone take that away from you. Trust in your wisdom, honor your desires, and surround yourself with people who encourage your independence. You've spent a lifetime building your story. It's time to write the next chapter exactly the way you envision it. 5. The financially reckless. At 70, financial stability is more than just a practical necessity. It's a cornerstone of your independence and peace of mind. You've spent decades working, saving, and preparing for this chapter of life where you can finally enjoy the fruits of your labor. But living with someone who is financially reckless can threaten this hard-earned stability, creating stress and uncertainty at a time when you deserve to feel secure. A financially reckless person often has little regard for planning or responsibility. They may spend impulsively, fail to manage their own debts, or rely on others, often you, to bail them out when things go wrong. At first, their behavior might seem like a minor inconvenience, something you can overlook or temporarily assist with, but over time, their lack of financial discipline can begin to seep into your life, eroding not just your savings, but also the peace you've worked so hard to maintain. Imagine sharing your home with someone who constantly asks for money to cover their overspending or expects you to take care of household expenses while they contribute nothing. Perhaps they make poor financial decisions that put your shared environment at risk, neglecting bills, accruing debt, or even involving you in financial schemes that jeopardize your stability. Their behavior isn't just frustrating, it's a direct threat to the financial safety net you've built for yourself. The emotional toll of this dynamic is just as damaging. You might feel obligated to help, especially if the person is a loved one or someone you've cared for over the years. They may appeal to your generosity, reminding you of past kindness or familial bonds to justify their behavior. But the cost of constantly stepping in to rescue them is more than monetary. It's the anxiety, resentment, and exhaustion that come with carrying someone else's financial burden. The truth is, your financial resources at this stage of life are precious and finite. They're meant to support your needs, your dreams, and the quality of life you deserve. Sacrificing this security for someone who refuses to take responsibility for their actions is not a kindness. It's a disservice to yourself. Helping someone who is financially reckless only enables their behavior, allowing them to continue without facing the consequences of their choices. Setting boundaries with a financially reckless person can feel uncomfortable, especially if you care deeply about them. But these boundaries are not about rejecting them. They're about protecting yourself. You have the right to say no to requests that jeopardize your well-being. You have the right to prioritize your own stability and peace. This doesn't make you selfish. It makes you wise. Living with someone who cannot manage their finances responsibly is a risk you shouldn't have to take. You've earned the freedom to enjoy this stage of life without the stress of someone else's mistakes. Surround yourself with people who respect your boundaries and understand the importance of financial independence. You deserve a life that is not only secure, but also filled with the freedom to spend your time and resources on what truly matters to you. 6. The chronically negative partner. At 70, life should feel like an open window to peace, joy, and fulfillment. A chapter where you can cherish the wisdom gained through years and revel in the freedom you've worked so hard to achieve. Yet, sharing your life with a chronically negative partner can dim this light, turning the potential for happiness into a constant struggle against their bleak perspective. A negative partner isn't simply someone who occasionally voices frustrations or concerns. We all have moments of doubt or sadness. Rather, they are someone whose outlook on life is persistently clouded by pessimism. They focus on what's wrong, what's lacking, and what's impossible, often at the expense of appreciating what's good and achievable. Living with such a partner means facing a constant stream of discouragement, criticism, or defeatism that can slowly erode your own sense of optimism. You might start to notice their negativity creeping into your daily interactions. Perhaps they dismiss your excitement about trying a new hobby or discourage your desire to travel, saying things like, "Why bother? At our age, it's not worth it." Over time, their words can begin to shape your mindset, planting seeds of doubt about your own abilities, dreams, and potential. Instead of feeling uplifted and inspired, you may find yourself weighed down by their complaints, fears, or resistance to change. What makes this dynamic particularly challenging is the bond you share with this person. They may be a longtime partner, someone who has been by your side through decades of life's ups and downs. Walking away or setting boundaries can feel impossible when history and love are involved. Yet, the cost of allowing their negativity to dominate your shared space is immense, not just for your emotional well-being, but for your ability to fully embrace the life you deserve. Negativity, when unchecked, can be as contagious as it is corrosive. It creates an environment where dreams are dismissed before they even take root, where joy is overshadowed by criticism, and where the beauty of life is overshadowed by what could go wrong. At 70, you've earned the right to live without that cloud hanging over you. You've earned the right to pursue happiness, adventure, and connection without fear of being diminished by someone else's pessimism. Addressing this issue doesn't mean abandoning your partner. It means advocating for your own needs and inviting them to grow alongside you. Open, Compassionate communication can be a powerful tool, sharing how their negativity affects you and encouraging a shift in perspective. Sometimes it takes gentle reminders that life, even with its challenges, holds endless opportunities for joy and discovery. However, if their mindset remains unyielding and continues to drain you, it may be necessary to consider whether living together serves your well-being. Your happiness is not a luxury, it's a necessity. At this stage of life, you owe it to yourself to cultivate relationships and environments that nurture your spirit and celebrate your potential. A partnership should be a source of strength and encouragement, not a barrier to growth. Surround yourself with positivity, with people who inspire you and reflect the optimism you strive to maintain. You've come too far and worked too hard to let negativity steal the light from this chapter of your journey. 7. The Overbearing Caregiver. At 70, independence is not just a preference. It's a testament to the life you've lived, the strength you've cultivated, and the wisdom you've gained. It's the freedom to make choices, embrace passions, and live on your own terms. But living with an overbearing caregiver can slowly strip away this independence, leaving you feeling stifled in the very stage of life where autonomy should be celebrated. An overbearing caregiver often steps into your life with the best intentions. They may be a relative, a close friend, or even a professional whose role is to support you. At first, their presence feels comforting, a gesture of love and concern. They offer help with chores, meals, or errands, and you might welcome their assistance with gratitude. But over time, their care may begin to take on a different shape, one that feels less like support and more like control. You might start to notice their influence creeping into areas where it isn't needed. They question your decisions, suggesting that your choices are too risky or not appropriate at your age. They might insist on taking over tasks you're perfectly capable of handling, saying it's easier this way, or that they're only trying to help. Their constant hovering can make you feel as though your independence is being quietly chipped away, replaced by a sense of being managed, or worse, infantilized. The weight of their overbearing care is more than just frustrating. It's disempowering. It sends an unspoken message that you're no longer capable of managing your own life, that your years of wisdom and resilience no longer hold value. This can lead to feelings of helplessness or resentment, as your ability to navigate life on your own terms is overshadowed by their well-meaning but misplaced interventions. It's important to recognize that overbearing caregivers often act out of their own fears. They may worry about losing you, fear the unpredictability of aging, or struggle with their own sense of control, but their fears are not yours to carry. You are not defined by their anxieties or assumptions about what you can and cannot do. Your independence is a reflection of your strength, and it deserves to be honored, not diminished. Living with someone who cannot respect your autonomy can make it difficult to embrace the freedom you've earned. This doesn't mean rejecting their care altogether. It means setting boundaries that protect your independence while allowing them to support you in meaningful and appropriate ways. Express your gratitude for their help, but firmly communicate the areas where you want to maintain control. Remind them that care is not about taking over, but about empowering you to live fully. At 70, you have the right to make your own choices, to live with dignity, and to celebrate the richness of life without interference. Surround yourself with people who see your independence not as something to be managed, but as something to be celebrated. This stage of life is a chapter of freedom, growth, and joy. Don't let anyone take that away from you, even under the guise of love or care. You've come too far to have your wings clipped now. Conclusion: protecting your peace, embracing your freedom. As you enter your 70s, you stand on a threshold of profound wisdom and possibility. This chapter of your life is not an ending. It's a new beginning, one shaped by all the lessons you've learned, the relationships you've nurtured, and the dreams you've carried. But to fully embrace this time, you must carefully guard your peace, your energy, and your autonomy. The people you allow into your life, and especially into your living space, play a pivotal role in shaping this journey. Every individual you live with brings their own energy, perspectives, and influence into your life. Some will uplift you, helping you discover new joys and supporting your freedom to thrive. Others, however, may unintentionally hold you back, drain your vitality, or overshadow your ability to live authentically. Choosing to create boundaries or distance from those who undermine your peace is not an act of rejection, but an act of profound self-love. At 70, your life should feel like a sanctuary, a space where your time, choices, and passions are fully your own. You've given so much to others throughout the years, whether as a parent, partner, friend, or caregiver, and now is the moment to give to yourself. This is not selfishness. It is a celebration of the life you've earned. You have the right to protect your joy, to prioritize your well-being, and to surround yourself with relationships that nurture and inspire you. Life's greatest beauty lies in its ability to renew itself, to offer fresh opportunities for connection, learning, and discovery, no matter your age. The only limits are the ones you allow. As you move forward, let go of guilt, fear, and others' expectations. Embrace the freedom to live on your terms and surround yourself with people who honor and encourage your independence. Remember, this is your time, a time to reflect, to grow, and to savor the life you've built. Protect it fiercely, cherish it deeply, and above all, live it fully with no regrets. You deserve nothing less. These lessons are meant to inspire you to live fully and authentically. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Take a moment to reflect and share one thing you've learned and plan to apply in your own life. Let's support each other on this journey toward embracing these truths. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment with 1. If not, feel free to comment with 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. Thank you for watching. And here's to living life on your own terms.